So we're a week and a bit on from the Ultra Trail Jervis Bay, where Kelvin and myself conducted our first live podcast up there on stage with our athlete panel. And so, what we thought we might do for this episode of the Cowbell is do a bit of a recap of that incredible event down there, the inaugural Jervis Bay Ultra. And we have some very, very special guests this evening, and we're coming to you live from all across the country. So, of course, we've got Kelvin. How are you, Kelvin?
I am very well, Dave. I'm
Are
super
you and you're
excited.
sit and you're sitting at home?
I'm sitting at home. Yes, yes.
Okay. I'm coming to you live from a campsite just outside Byron Bay. And then we are going to welcome tonight a group of NG1 athletes. So all of our, or a lot of the NG1 athletes that were there as part of that Ultra Trail Jervis Bay, are part of Kelvin's team. So we have Emma Power, and I'm assuming you're sitting at home in the Central Coast, Emma.
I
We
am,
have
yes. Hello.
hello. We have Amy Hewett there, and still fresh in her scrubs
Yeah,
after working
legit.
today at the veterinary clinic. And where are you sitting right now?
I'm in Whittlesea, Victoria.
Well, there you go.
Mm.
And then the legendary Dale Pearce. How are you, mate? You look like you're sitting in a
Good,
forest, but where are
thanks.
you coming to us live
Uh,
from?
I'm in sunny Ballarat. Thanks for having me on.
Sunny
Sorry.
Ballarat. And then we have the legend Harry, who's got all sorts of contraptions and pooches by his side. Where are you coming to us, Harry?
I'm coming from my place in Pakenham.
There you go. And there's the dogs wagging their tail in the
Yeah, got
background.
three dogs around me.
So what we're going to do tonight, we just want to hear from each of you guys. Kelvin's prepared some questions, just about a bit of a race recap from there down there in Jervis Bay, and yeah, hear about your stories, hear about your different runs and how they went.
Yeah, sounds good, Dave. I think yeah, maybe probably start with Emma Power first. Yes, I think a week after your race, uh yeah, just tell us quickly how you feel. Like obviously it was not a usual race that you expecting. But yeah, just tell us a little bit. That'll be awesome, Emma.
Yeah, week on. Honestly, it feels like 3 weeks, to be honest. I'm actually so surprised with my recovery. My legs came good within 2 to 3 days, which was wild for me. I've been working so hard on my recovery. So that was like a really big eye opener for me. I was just so happy with the race, honestly. Like I came out of it just like it's the first race I've done where I've just been like I've smiled the whole time. Like even though like I hurt my elbow and everything, I've just come out of it with so much joy and just I'm honestly I think it's one of the best races I've ever done, to be honest. It was insane. It also like I think I leveled up in this race a
Mm.
little. I've always done races where there's, 4 to 6,000 meters of elevation. So this was kind of my first ultra that I've done with a little bit lower elevation. And it really kind of put me at my top tier, I feel. I think it's kind of, yeah, it's made me level up a little bit. So yeah, even my running coach is impressed. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good, to be honest. Yeah.
No, that's awesome, Emma. Let's come back. Hey, Dave, by the way, you're on mute. Hey, Dave, you're on mute.
There we go. That was the first flip up. I'm interested in this. I'm interested in the smile. Emma, what brought the smile out the whole time? Because you can see it in your socials.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously I'm a big fan of like recording my whole race so I can look back on it and reflect. But one, the scenery, two, the people, three, just being there, feeling strong, feeling confident, just in the zone. Like
Mm.
it was just a cool race. Like, yeah. And I've also never, like, I got to 90K and it was still light. And I was like, wow, like, this is so unheard of for me. I'm used to doing UTA where I'm like, 60 kilometers, it's nighttime, and I'm trudging through the dark for like, 40 plus Ks. So it just felt really good to have a bit of a faster race, and to experience that kind of scenery and just be around amazing people, smiling the whole time, even till the end.
That's awesome, Emma. Like let's come back to you on what happened to your shoulder. Let's move on to Henry. So Henry, yeah, I was at the finish line waiting for you to cross. And you were smiling like Emma as well. Like just tell us like how you feel like a week after the race.
Well, this is my longest race to date, and I love finishing races. I always try and push hard, and it was just awesome to be able to see you at the finish and Dave, and do a good hard run right through the finish line.
Yeah, awesome. And how did you feel like during the race? Like is it something that like very different from other races you have done in the past? Obviously, you're coming from triathlete background. Like what would say? I guess I mean the different this race to compare to other races.
Yeah, look, it's certainly been my longest race. I didn't know how I was going to go after 30K. Um, and having sand in there was certainly a interesting obstacle. But I found someone to talk to while I was running, and that really helped me get along. And yeah, towards the end, I discovered I still had more that I could give, and so that I could have a nice strong finish.
So
Yeah.
going into this, Harry, knowing that it was your longest, what was the intrepidation? What was the thinking before you going in, or you just thought, yeah, I've got this in the bag?
No, I definitely was not confident in myself. I had done a bit of training with Amy, of course, but I never felt like I was completely ready. But I don't know if you ever do going into a race. Um, I really just wanted to see how I'd do, how quick I could do it, and set a time. I knew I had a lot of time I could take. I could walk the whole thing if I wanted, but of course, trying to push myself and see what I can do. So yeah, just started off the race not too hard or fast, just seeing how I'd go.
Uh, that's great,
Awesome.
Henry. All right, so let's move on to Amy.
Hey, like this race, the whole weekend was epic. The people were epic. The scenery was epic. It was just, it was, yeah, like Emma was saying, just you couldn't help but be happy. And
Yep.
I think
Yeah.
in these sort of races, it's the people that make it. And I went into this wanting to get a PB because I knew it was going to be like a little bit of a faster race than what I've done previously, and that's what I was working towards.
Mm.
Didn't get the time I was hoping for the actual race, but what I got was another lifelong friend who I initially was going to run my own race and just do it all by myself. But within the first couple of kilometers, I met a 60-year-old man called Paul, and he was running his first 100K, and he was like my personal guide for the entire time. And we just nattered for the most of it. And like during those night sections when I hit the beach, I was in a dark place, but we just started singing that bottle song, like 99 bottles of beer on the wall.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, like I think we got delirious, so we only got to like 78, but that got us off the beach. So it was just those cool moments, and seeing whales for the first time ever, bandicoots, like yeah, it was just unreal and epic. That's how best I could describe that race.
Yeah, definitely seeing the wildlife there. I mean, that was something that we've heard from a lot of runners, but we saw you cross the line with him, and I often joke on a finish line when I'm commentating there that you can see people that are running across, and you can tell they've made lifelong best friends. And I've heard stories about people running and they don't even know what this person looks like, but the person's been running behind them the whole time and they've just nattered the whole time and they're in the dark. And then they get to the end of the race and they still don't know what the person looks like because they're behind them the whole time. But that's epic, Amy. Like to be able to, like, I saw that friendship and that bond that you guys had when you crossed the line there. But to hear that you're out there singing drunken seafaring songs out there in the middle of the night is
Legit,
unreal.
yeah. It passed the time, and yeah, he was a great guy, and he made some recommendations for what we could do the next day, and made some mountain recommendations which came in handy. So it was just yeah, really lovely to meet him and form that friendship and get through it together. Together we can go further.
Yeah, that's awesome, Amy. I remember when I was at the aid station when we were waiting for you to came through, and I think you were with Paul, and yeah, we were so glad that like he were actually encouraging you to push on, and then I mean when we drove off, like we can see just both of you like just deep in the pain cave, and still like 16K to go, and there was, I think, like it was a 10 o'clock, something like that. Like we know that like you're gonna probably past midnight. Like but yeah, I'm glad that like you find someone who can sort of like supporting you for the most difficult moment in your race. Yeah. Yeah. All right, Dale. Finally, your turn.
All good.
Tell us,
I'm
Dale.
s- I'm s- I'm still processing it, to be honest. The support out there was mad. Like the whole event was cool, but from the team to everyone in the village and then on course, everyone was just, hey, how you doing? Well done, all that stuff. So especially the beach section, with the out and back, there was so many people coming back towards me that were just like giving me cheers as we were going through. So that itself was really cool. The event itself, man, the brain's still trying to figure it out. I think I'm about 100 photos deep at the moment of almost 200 to analyze and figure out why I took it and what I said at the time, with my glasses. So that's just, and that's learning for me. That's me understanding why I took a photo when I took it and to understand why I was asking myself of those questions at the time. No songs needed. I was yatting away to my glasses for best part of 3.5 hours.
So
So,
just to interject there for a second, Dale, just to
yeah,
bring others, because not everyone that's going to be listening to this would have been there to see you, and
yeah,
obviously you've blown up on social media. That's the post
oh, I've lost you,
solo.
Dave. Yep.
Hey, Dave, can you repeat your
You've
question
lost
again?
me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I will
no, got you
cut
again.
this out. Yeah, yeah. Can you repeat your last question, Dave?
So sorry, just to interject there, mate. Can you? Yeah,
Yep.
just to
Yep.
Yeah, we can
interject.
hear you.
Just to repeat for people that obviously weren't there at the event or maybe not seen the socials that have blown up since the event. But you're running visually impaired, but you're using it was your first solo run on your own without an aid. But you were running with your modified cane for sand. You're running with your two running poles that
Yep.
would going to obviously help you over the terrain. But you've also got your GPX file that's being played back through your shocks, through your ears. But then for the
Yep.
first time ever, you are using your brand new Meta glasses. Now, if anyone has seen you on socials, and they should look you up, all of your footage that you've posted is from your glasses,
My
and it's
glasses.
and
Yeah.
it's absolutely sensational. So just to bring
Yeah.
people up to speed with what you're doing, and this was the first time you've ever combined all this technology at the same time.
Yeah. In race format. Yeah. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. There's two cane tips. I don't know if you can see those. That was my race tip from, I don't know, can you see that?
Yeah, yeah, we can see that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The red one here was my race tip, and that was brand new on the start of the race. So that churned through best part of half a tip, in very short process. So yeah, in terms of all the tech coming together, I'd practiced with it and sort of just had to put faith in what it all did. So I trust my all-terrain cane, which is the one with the heavy tip, and my hiking pole. Using the sand-based tip, that was awesome to use for the first time. And then running two sets of info through my head, was a bit insane, but it worked. So I had the GPX file and the shocks on my watch running, so it didn't interfere with my glasses. So with the metas, basically every bit of terrain that I've came across that I felt unsure on, I was asking questions of my glasses as to what it looked like if there was a smooth patch of dirt or if there was a high side or low side. So I could usually pick a low side so I didn't have a risk of fall. If there was a rut that I could run in, if the steps were going up. At points I lost people, so I was asking if there was people in front of me just so I was on the right path. Asking where the signs were. Is there the yellow sign with a black arrow? And if there was, which direction was the arrow coming? So I didn't have to fully stop at certain points through the whole course. So all of that stuff going on in my head, and then trying to figure out, make sure I keep my footing and not fall on my ass. At the same time was a very interesting run. Yeah.
That's awesome, Dale. Like, if Mark Zuckerberg listening to this podcast, you know who to contact. Like Dale, please.
Well done, Dale. It's
Yeah,
impressive.
thanks.
No, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
it was a mad run.
It's funny because when I think to the audience like I was actually running with Dale behind him for the first 6 or 7K, just make sure that he's running okay. But yeah, he would just keep talking to his metal glass and yeah, just amazing. I mean, with the technology helping you get through the course. Yeah, yes, it's incredible, incredible.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So the next question now, I'm going back to Emma now. Like, are there any things that really surprised you during the race that you didn't anticipate? Like, is it the beach running, like the amount of beach running, or anything else that like you can, wow, this is not what I expecting.
Yes, beach is definitely one. So I'm very used to training high elevation, high terrain, single track, you know. So when I hit those beaches, and I think Amy mentioned it before, I did go to a dark place as well. So yeah, I was fine, especially with the loop.
Yep.
I forget what the loop's called that you do twice. That steamers loop, yes. So that loop for me was a little bit of hell, especially because I'd just done my elbow. But I felt like that loop was loose sand, loose dirt, and most incline. So that's kind of where I came a little bit undone. I feel like I might have not done enough training in the sense of the terrain. So that last kind of 16K leg, in the sand where you can't even see how far ahead. Like in the morning, it's fine. You're running on the hard sand. You can see how far you have.
Yeah, that's right.
At nighttime, the tide was really high. So you're up in the heavy sand. You can't see how far you've got to go. So it's just you and a few meters trudging in the sand, not knowing how long there is. I was trying to recap in my head how many beaches there were. But they just kept coming. I feel like there was 20 beaches at the end. But yeah, the beach for me was kind of my downfall, especially at the end there. I feel like that tacked on a lot of time for me. But other than that, yeah, it's such an incredible race. I'm still pinching myself. The beaches is what did it for me. The beaches,
The beach.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the same to you, Harry? What about you, Harry? Anything that really surprised you?
Yeah, I was actually surprised by the beaches in a slightly different way. Having only done the 54K, I didn't have to experience the beaches at either extreme day or night. And the tide was pretty good for me. So I got to run on the hard packed sand, which I wasn't sure going into the race what the sand was going to be like. So it was a very welcome surprise at how easy it was to run on it. One of the challenges I did have on the first beach was the sun and not having quite enough water with me.
Nice.
So I was certainly mindful of that. And then after I got off the first beach, that's when there was more soft sand inland. So that was certainly a challenge. But the tracks and trails, some of the single track was really, really fun to run on.
Yeah.
And the views when you look out over the cliffs was spectacular.
Yeah.
The whales. Did everyone see the whales?
Can I say no?
Yes, I did see a whale breach.
Yeah,
It was pretty amazing.
It's Harry, that you mentioned that because a lot of people were coming in finishing on the hard pack sand, and they were like, "Oh, that beach section was amazing. That beach section was so cool." But then it was the crew that were coming through in the 108 that were coming in at night, and they're like, that sucked because it was high tide. You had to run up on the top, and it's so. And chatting to Bart, who obviously is the curator of this event, and Sarah there, and we often forget this in trail running sometimes, but it's trail running is not just following a white line. It's a challenge. We're setting ourselves a challenge. It's not meant to be easy. It's actually meant to be hard. And so those variables that we have in an event like this that can change is actually really cool. That's actually what brings out that stuff. And for those people to be able to adapt to that, and to be able to adapt to those challenges. So even though it was different for different races, I think that's very
Yeah. We lost you again, Dave.
No, I'd stop talking.
All right. What about Amy? Like anything that really surprised you? Like,
I think I surprised myself with, because I was kind of using this as a training run for a race later in the year, and I surprised myself with my nutrition, like keeping food down and actually following my nutrition plan until 89K when I sort of bonked. But that surprised me. The friends on trail, seeing you guys at the aid station, that was a nice welcome surprise. And having Harry crew me after having run the ultra himself. And yeah, that really helped get me through. So they were all welcome surprises.
and what about you, Dale?
The level of support out there for me is still a surprise. It's I'm such a baby in this sport, yet it's so welcoming as a family and a community that trail runners just a different level. Every time I do an event, I see that more and more. So it was a very cool event to be part of, and I should say it surprised me, but I don't know. It's just one of those things that you sit there and go, "Wow, that was next level cool." So yeah.
Nice.
So in terms of trail, I guess as well, like I actually probably thought it was going to some of the single track stuff was going to be slightly harder for me, but I sort of navigated it pretty well, so I was happy with that. Yeah.
Now it's good because I think you before this race you actually had another race at the forest, right?
Yeah.
Run the forest, and then that is a lot more technical, a lot more muddy than
it was
this
very
one.
muddy weekend.
Yeah. Awesome. Next questions is I want to know, like, say halfway through the race, like what was your mindset? Like Emma, obviously I think if my math calculation is correct, I think halfway is around 55K. That was after you fracture your arm. Like
well,
tell us.
we actually haven't actually. We need to explain this. We've mentioned it. We've alluded to it. That was the biggest surprise, Emma. Tell everyone what actually happened, and then tell us your mindset after that went down.
Yeah, so halfway point was 50 something kilometers, 53, 54, whatever. At about 48 kilometers in Steamer's Loop, I'm pretty sure. Damn, Steamer's Loop. I was running and I fell. My hand is in my glove. My glove's connected to my pole, obviously. It got stuck and my whole elbow just kind of popped out and I was like, oh, okay, that hurt. And then pops back in. Got to halfway and I was like to my support crew, I'm so happy to see you guys. I was just so thrilled to see them. Like my mum even ran me in like 200 meters all the way to the checkpoint. Saw all my family and I was like, oh my God, like this is such a cool race. I just saw whales. Also, I think I dislocated my elbow. So yeah, they're like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, I fell. My glove didn't release from my pole. It was a whole thing. So we just had to, like, that's the part of ultras, right? Like you've just got to brainstorm. Anything that will happen, that can happen, will happen. And so I ended up just like trying to stabilize my arm as much as possible. Took Panadol, Nurofen, every other whatever there is to take. mum just gave me all this stuff. And then sent me on my way. I was like, I'm gonna keep going. So I just had to readjust the way I used my pole and my arm. Obviously, I didn't know I'd fractured at the time. But that halfway point for me, it wasn't even about that I was injured. It was just like, oh my God, I'm halfway. Let's go. Let's turn around. So yeah, it was really cool. I also came across the first female runner. Just as I left Steamer's Loop, she was doing her second loop. So she was miles ahead, but that was really cool because I got a little chance to chat to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's must be hard for you, right,
So
Emma?
you saw
Because
Lucy.
Yeah,
okay.
Lucy
Oh, sorry.
Coleman.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. So she was coming out of her second loop of steamers as I was going into the halfway. So she was, yeah, at least 10 kilometers or more ahead. Yeah, crazy.
Must be hard for you, Emma. Is it like because I think the one of the I guess I mean the most challenging part of this race is out and back. Like
Yeah.
knowing that like now you have a fractured arm and then you have to go back and run through all the sand that you have just passed, like, that must be fairly challenging to your mind, isn't it?
It was very challenging as well, but also I think like the adrenaline and stuff kind of just pushed me through. I didn't also at the time I didn't know I'd fractured my arm. I just thought I'd fallen really badly on it because I really hurt my
Mm,
shoulder as well because I landed like on my shoulder. But yeah, I just kind of was like, whatever, like it is what it is. I just changed the way I was running, changed the way I used my poles, used my right
yeah.
arm predominantly, and yeah, it just pushed through. And then the next day, I was like, oh, like my arm's really sore. But yeah, anyway, it is what it is. These things happen.
Yeah.
Like I said, you only need your legs.
And what about you, Henry? Like, you must been like looking at your watch and oh, now I've done 25K. Like that would be probably the longest run ever, isn't it?
Yes, I was certainly watching it tick over. I think
Mhm.
27 was my previous longest run.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty good feeling after I saw it hit 30, um, knowing that I'd ran longer than I'd ever ran before and I still had more to go. After that, I didn't really look at my watch too much.
Yep.
I was just focusing on getting through and getting to the end.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, seeing you crossing the finish line, I think there's still a lot in your tank, I think. You
Yeah,
even,
I
I think even the last, I think 5 meters. I mean, you were dashing like you were crossing the finish line as if like you're running a I don't know
100, 100 meter
100 meters
dash.
dash.
I was finishing the way I try and finish my triathlons. Just get the best time I can.
Yeah,
But
great effort.
in that mindset, in that mindset moment though, like once, as Kelvin said, you click over. A lot of people that get to that stage, yeah, they might be counting the kilometers or counting the time, but it does take over a little bit because now it's like, well, this is uncharted territory. Where am I going from here? What's next?
Yeah, certainly felt that. And also wondering how much further I could then go. But just kept putting one foot in front of the other and keep moving forward, trying not to think about how it hurt and how I wanted to pull out sometimes.
And did you find it compared to
Oh,
triathlon, like Harry, like was it much harder or similar kind of?
Yeah, certainly a lot more endurance. I haven't done that many long triathlons before.
Yeah.
Usually I can get them done in an hour. And the running portion of those, even though you're already exhausted, is only 5 kilometers.
Mm.
So quite a bit different.
Yeah, awesome. And Amy, like so now you have been running with your new running buddy for nearly 40K-ish at the halfway point. So what was your mindset at the time? Like, do you still think that like you should be able to compete within the time you're looking? What was your mindset back then?
So my coach was telling me to do a negative split for this race, and so I was like, "Oh yeah." I was surprised at how well I felt at that point. And leading up until that like turnaround aid station, I was getting like a history lesson of the island and the lighthouse that got bombed by the Navy and all that sort of stuff. So I was really distracted. So, yeah, so it's really cool having Paul as my personal guide. And then I got to meet his family at that turnaround point, and I was really surprised at how well we felt. And then we headed back around that loop. Definitely did not do a negative split, and but I was a bit surprised at how well I felt up until that point, because I've always been like a back of the packer, and so it's always been my goal to be able to continue to run. So I surprised myself that I was able to run past. Up until I'd say about that 73K mark, I was still running really well. But yeah, then the wheels fell off a little bit, but that's okay.
And when did you find out your foot start to have a lot of blister? Like
that was at 89K.
89K, yeah.
I had calf pain on the road leading into the 73K just before. So I got Harry to give me a massage down, which is great. And then we were still running up until the beach, and then when we started walking the beach, I realized I should have probably changed my shoes at the turnaround point, and I didn't. And then blisters. The blisters weren't too bad. It was more the calf pain that which comes from not running and training as much as I should have on sand, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Lessons learned.
And there, halfway point, what's on your mind?
There was probably not the halfway point. There was probably multiple points of me going, I've got this, and then the brain's screaming, going, get off course. What are you doing? You're an idiot. Because of just the fear of what was out there, sort of thing. So it was very much a mind game for the whole race. Even after the first 600 meters on the beach, that little rocky section to get on steps, I went, whew, okay, I got through that. It was just every little technical section for me is very much a big moment. And I was like, okay, cool, next bit. And then got onto the beach at Hymes and sort of I was able to shut off a bit, but then had to reset the brain to go, hang on, you've still got a fair bit to go. So pushed through that. But at 15 Ks when the aid station came up, I joked to the crew, the volunteers there, I said, just go message Bart, tell him the blind guy's coming home. And they went, we can't say that. And I went, well, he knows who I am, sort of thing. So, and I don't know if they did or didn't, but at 15, I guess I knew I was good for it. I'd managed myself. The brain had still coped to where it needed to be. And then at 1500 to go at the last split, when the volley sort of said, yep, down this way, and you got 1500, I was like, yep, cool. Like, we're almost home. That was it. So lots of different processes for me through, like, as with everyone, for the whole race, just a bit of fight or flight type motion for me for that whole race, just to figure out, can I do this, and don't just walk off because you're bloody crazy, and what are you doing on a course on your own? So yeah, it was pretty cool.
I mean, Dale, your mindset's very different in a lot of ways, for obvious reasons, but you're applying multiple different forms of technology. You're a very intuitive guy. Since you've been struck down with the loss of your vision, you've taken this by the horns and you haven't let it stop you. So there's a level of determination that I see in you and the way you talk, and even afterwards, the amount of people that were coming up to you, and I don't say this lightly, but you were literally celebrity status, because you had a lot of people that were very obviously intrigued as to the journey that you'd just been on. But
I feel like
it is grit. There was no way that this was going to, that you were stopping this, that you were achieving this.
Oh yeah, totally. And I feel like I've got imposter syndrome a little bit just the fact that so many people do come up to me and sort of ask the questions of how and why and all those things. But it is, it is grit, it's resilience, it's all those things. It's my WTF moment, Dave. So but part of the whole process is just figuring out, and Emma said it on the pod, on the live pod, and it's you against you, or it's you against the trail. And I'm not going to let it beat me. It's just bloody hard sometimes, like it is for all of us. So, but then, that last turn as well, coming down the chase into the chute, that was awesome. And I'm so glad I videoed it. Like, that was, I had a moment about 500 out and I went, oh, I could video my finish. Hang on. And I had this light bulb moment and just went, oh, I'm going to do that. And so I just hit record and like, I'm glad I captured enough of what I did. So yeah, it was very cool.
Just to bring everyone up to speed, though, he did tell me that when he got to the end, he sort of collapsed on the ground, not in pain or not in necessarily celebration, but it was just so he could catch his breath before he knew that I wanted to talk to him. So that's why he stayed down on the ground a little bit longer.
Damn straight. I knew what was coming.
But I guess and that's a great question, Kelvin, the mindset, because every single one of you, Emma, Amy, and Harry and Dale, they're like, you've just described very different mindsets for what your challenge was throughout that weekend there in Jervis Bay. And I think that's something that a lot of people listening to this could take away from that, whether it's because of a fall or whether it's because the pain cave set in, Amy, and there was a few niggles but getting through that. But then obviously you said you're normally the back of the packer, but you wanted to do something a little bit differently. And then for Harry, for you to be able to, tick off that longer distance and still finish with a little bit of a chariots of fire moment crossing the finish line. But they're all different mindsets that I think, and that's one of the things that we really love hearing these stories on the cowbell. And so thank you for sharing them all.
No, very well said, Dave. The last question to all of you. Do you have any advice or tips to anyone who are looking at entering this race next year? Maybe start with you first, Emma.
Yeah, honestly, like I said in the podcast on down there in Jervis, plan your nutrition, make a little game plan. Depending on what distance you're doing, nutrition is number one. Make a game plan your race. If you can go and hit the trails, I know it's not as big of elevation as some other races, but there is still that sand. There's all the terrain. You've got sand, you've got dirt, you've got road. You've got all the different types of terrain. So definitely prepare yourself for that. Do not underestimate it, even though it says not as much elevation, because that's obviously where I came undone a little bit. But also just enjoy yourself. Like, honestly, like I said, and I'll say it to the end, I smiled the whole way through. Such an incredible race. But plan your nutrition, plan ahead, have your support there, and smile.
And don't fall.
Don't fall over.
Yeah.
No, I disagree with that. If you're not falling over, you're not trying hard enough. So well
Exactly.
done.
Yeah.
So well done, Emma.
True. All right, Henry, what about you? Any tips that you can give to the runner who are looking at like doing this race or running their first ultra?
Yeah, it's a very good race to start with, very runnable, as a lot of people were saying, and I think that caught some people off by just how much pace you could maintain for the whole race. So especially compared to other trail races, which have a lot more elevation and you're walking a little bit more up the hills. So for this one, definitely training some pace and speed and getting on the beaches so it doesn't become a surprise when you're out there.
Yeah, definitely I agree, Henry. I was talking to a lot of runners at the race hub before the race, and I think a lot of them they definitely underestimate the difficulties running on the sand. Like a lot of them they said to me, Kelvin, it's only like less than 2,000 meters elevation. Like I think they probably really don't expect like how hard, difficult to run on the sand.
Have
I
they
was
run for 10K on the sand?
yeah. I was actually talking to Bart, the race director, and I said to him, now I can have a new nickname of this race. It's called Beauty and the Beast. It pretty much, I mean, you start with the beauty, right? Like you have all this beach, and then at the end, like, it just turn into a beast, like because you after running for
Yeah.
so many beach, yeah. So Beauty and the Beast. And
I, d-
Amy,
I, d-
yeah,
I
go ahead.
definitely had some. I was just saying, I definitely had some people come across the line and said, "Give me the further stairs any day compared to sand running." But
Oh,
Oh, yes,
really?
yes. Give me
coming back
Wow.
to
further.
Emma's point,
Give,
it's
give
it's
me further steps
coming
any
back.
day.
Well, but coming back to Emma's point, but it's another mindset thing, right? This is a challenge, right? And we
Yeah.
challenge ourselves to go and run in the stairs in the mountains or wherever it might be. But this is a different challenge. And there's other events out there that run on sand as well, the Lakes Trail Festival and
Mm.
things like that. So it's a different challenge. We can't all be mountain goats. Sometimes we need to be whales. So
Yeah,
Mm,
100%.
yeah. I think at
Well
least
said.
further step you can use your hand, right? You can pull yourself
You
up.
can use the rail.
Yeah. There's no way on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about you, Amy? Any tips that like you can give to the runners?
I have two.
Mm.
First is get to know the people you're running with.
Ah,
You never
yeah.
know, you might find yourself a local guide who loves to chat and makes the time go super quickly because we can go far alone, but we can definitely go further together.
Mm.
And my
yeah,
second one
man.
in relation to sand running is run like Jack Sparrow. It actually helps. So I literally was imitating Jack Sparrow for a good portion of it. Like his gait actually gets you further. I don't know if it like spreads out the surface tension on the sand, but towards the end I was running like Jack Sparrow.
Why don't we have
Like
video of that?
I know
Yeah.
like we should have, and I was like singing the Pirates of the Caribbean theme song. But yeah,
That's where I
that's some
went
tips.
wrong.
Yeah.
You just need the dreadlocks and the pirate hat and I can see that image, running down the beach.
Mhm.
And okay, and what about you, Dale? Like any tips that you can give to the runners?
I think for a 20K, it's an awesome event. Just the fact that it's not huge terrain. There's
Mm,
still a bit of beach in it, so is what it is. But it's the end of the day, it's a beautiful course and it's flowy and it works and all those kind of things. And you get to see people along the course, especially the out and back on Himes.
yeah.
That was probably a highlight to me in that little section that you were seeing everyone come past you,
Mm,
and whether you're in the front or in the back, you still passed the majority of the field at some point on that run, which was very cool. So, and that was that community feel, and everyone's touched on it, of get to know people around you, have a chat, have some fun with it, and yeah, smile, as Emma said. So yeah,
yeah, that's awesome, Dale. I definitely agree. I think the 20K course I was running behind you, I think I run maybe about 14K before I sort of like shoot off to support other runner. And
yeah,
yeah, I agree. I think just beautiful course. And I think 20K course was the course different from I think 50K or 100K, where 20K course you actually has a little bit of elevation, like you actually went up a hill.
yeah,
And
yep,
I think it wasn't like that on the 50 and 100K course. So which is
yeah,
great. Like you sort of like get a little bit of elevation. And then you're coming down back to the beach.
yep,
Yeah, it was really good.
yeah. It was
And
a
I think
good
I
one.
felt like I think I was running behind you. I think it's great that like the course is also so right next to the town center. Like you pretty much run past the petrol station. Like so if you need it, just grab an ice cream if you want to. Like
I missed it.
oh, you miss it.
Yeah, he didn't. Actually, I saw that someone running up on the Gold Coast on the weekend that was having a low blood sugar moment. They ran into a shop and got
Oh,
two cans
Oh,
two
We've all
cans of
been there.
Coke mid-race. Yeah, I know that. You touched on that there as well, Kelvin. Though is for the inaugural event that Bart and Sarah put on down there, having all of three major distances start from different locations was very cool. Like it was, it
Mm.
definitely showcased the area, but it also definitely another challenge there as well. Before we sort of start wrapping things up, are there anything that anyone wants to add about their experience? Because we do have to ask you, all of you, and you may have already touched on it, but we'd love to hear from you what your cowbell moments are, which is in keeping in tradition of what we do here on the podcast. But is there anything else that you guys would like to add about the event, or about your particularly, like, everyone, we've talked about mindset, but everyone comes away from an event like that, and as you said, you're all still buzzing, but there is a level of emotion. There's a high that we're all sort of still on, no matter whether you're a sponsor or a commentator or a runner and things like that. So, yeah, anything you want to add before you jump into your cowbell moments?
Start with Emma.
Don't all talk at once.
Yeah. Honestly, for me, like, I experienced so many special moments during this race. Like, one being just obviously the scenery and everything, but two, being able to have your support crew at so many checkpoints and so many spectator locations. It's just such a pick me up. And I mean, coming into that also, I think it was 90 kilometers, the checkpoint. I had, Kelvin there. My sister was volunteering. I had, my mum there, my partner, everything. It's such a like pick me up to see those people there. And it just like everyone's clapping for you, everyone's cheering for you. And then I also ran in with this other random runner. Like I had no idea who they were. And I was like, let's go. Like we were just cheering each other on. Like those moments for me, like they're so special. Like these random people on the track, strangers, and you're just experiencing these moments with them. Like it's so cool. And then, yeah, to have your loved ones there push you back out and be like, I'll see you at the finish line. And, like even Dave at the finish line, I saw you there. I could hear you going, power, power from like, 100 meters away. And then to give you a cuddle over the finish line, like it's just awesome. So many cowbell moments for me during this race. Like I could name 100 if I'm being honest.
Awesome. And Henry, any cowbell moment?
Yes, I have a couple, and the first one I really want to mention is it was about the 22K mark for me. I got to pass Amy going the other direction. So to be able to stop and see her was really great. Amy had done a few more kilometers than me, and she was still going super strong. And then, yeah, that gave me a lot more energy to keep going. And then I think it was at the finish line, I got to see Kelvin and Dale was there as well. It was so good to be able to see you guys all there. And then again, watching Amy cross the finish line, having the dogs there, and seeing her cross with Paul was just fantastic.
No, that's awesome. I think so. Probably make sure that next time you don't enter the same race as Amy. Like if you're seeing that, like you probably wouldn't see her. All right, cool. Amy, let me see. Yes, Amy. Now, like any cowbell moment from you, Amy?
Oh, there's so many. Like everyone's been saying, it was just a beautiful run, like beautiful scenery with beautiful people. I think the humans definitely made it. Seeing Harry at that point, crossing over point, it was so cute. Seeing you guys at the aid station, that gave me life, and then again at the finish line was the ultimate cowbell moment. Yeah, I was so grateful that you guys hung there to 1:30 in the morning. But yeah, crossing it with Paul and knowing we got his first 100K. Oh, actually, also when he ticked over the 100K mark, he had the margarita cliff juice. So we celebrated him going over the 100K mark by taking a margarita cliff juice. So that was a pretty good moment too. So I was
Amazing.
like, oh, yeah.
That is good.
So many moments, yeah.
Awesome.
And you, Dale, any cowbell moments?
Oh, yeah, like too many. Getting random message from Harry halfway through a race, saying, "I don't think I'm going to catch you," and that coming through my ears on a text message, so I don't have to look at my phone for that. It's just punching through. So I'm like, "Oh, cool," and then just sending messages back, sort of thing. So that was a moment. But probably at 1500, when I'd made that last sort of intersection, um, all the thoughts went to everyone around me, and I am emotional. Um, I ran for breast cancer, and
Mm.
I got a message from one of my friends and said, you know, you're doing this awesome, keep going, all that stuff. And she'd been live tracking me, so she saw where I was and what was happening. So it was a very cool moment. And then, crossing the line as well. I'm so glad I recorded it. So I had no concept of what I did and um, what I'd said, even crossing the line and what had happened, to be honest. And I watched it back Sunday night properly for the first time and went, oh shit, that's what happened. And that's what Dave said. And that's what it sounded like. And I had no concept, like it all just vanished from me. So I'm so glad I recorded that. And I think I've watched it 50 times since, to be honest, just so I can figure out what I did and how I did it. So, yeah, lots of emotions and processes on the day and also still to come. So yeah.
I think we need to make a movie, Dale.
Yeah, good on you, Dale.
Thank you.
No,
Yeah,
that's
it was epic
Actually,
event for everyone.
There's one cowbell moment that we actually haven't properly celebrated. Now, this happened post Ultra Trail Jervis Bay. And there's been a lot of loving tonight about how good it was to see everyone out on course and things like that. But there's two particular people in this podcast that had another moment to celebrate, which might be more than a cowbell moment. Who's going to actually explain what happened? I think Harry, maybe you need to take the lead on this one.
Yeah, I'll start this. So, after having a full day of recovery on the Sunday, we then had to drive back to Victoria. And on the way, or before we left Jervis Bay, we decided we'd go and find a mountain to climb, which was a bit ambitious after both of us doing ultras, but we both had good legs and felt good to do it. So we went and found Pigeon House Mountain, which had been a suggestion from Paul to Amy. So on the way back, we drove to the bottom of that and hiked up to the top to see some pretty spectacular views. And once we got to the top, what happened there, Amy?
I was not expecting it because we were hiking with doggos and doggos couldn't get up the ladders, so we had to tie them to a little post. And I was like, Harry, you go up first and then I'll come up. He's like, no, we'll go up together. And then I was like, okay, well, let's just go up quickly and then get back down. So we went up there, took a cute photo. There was two hikers up there. And I'm like, oh, this is great. Let's go down. He's like, oh, no, let's just go have a look at this, like, over here. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm like, oh, it's pretty. And I turned around and he was on one knee and asked me to marry him. And I said yes.
My God, I see the ring on your finger.
Yeah. And it turns out he was planning it all along, and my best friend knew. And he asked my dad's permission the day before, and I was none the wiser. And I literally spent like a week with my best friend a few weeks before that, and she didn't give it. She didn't let on that this was about to happen, and it couldn't have been more perfect, honestly. Though up just before we hit the top, I was like, "This was a mistake. My feet hurt." And then because we hadn't had lunch after I said yes, and I was crying and laughing and crying in disbelief, but happy. I was like, oh, I'm actually really nauseous. So, but I just couldn't believe it was very perfect for us, and very great.
Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations. Yes.
Yeah. That is a huge compliment. I'm impressed, Harry, because not only were you taking on your first ultra ever, but you'd been obviously concocting this for some time. Did you run the whole ultra with a ring in your pocket or what? What's going on here?
No, I did leave the ring in the car. It was a thought to be able to propose at the finish line, but thought that might not be the best thing.
Mate, it's been done before. It's been done. This was way more original.
Yeah.
I
wanted
so cool.
Mountains. The course was too flat for that. So it was 3.5K and nearly 500 meters of vert we hiked up to get to the top, which was significant after Amy had ran 109K. So I was looking forward to it, and it was very exciting.
And he actually made the ring box, and it's in the shape of mountains.
Oh,
I
that's
did see
cute.
that.
I don't.
That's
Oh
very
my God.
cool.
Do I have
That's
it?
cute.
I might
You
have
need
it.
to show
It's
us.
very cool. Like very
It is
cool.
very cool. Harry,
And
you're very creative, and I think we need to make a movie about
Oh,
this as well.
And then it's got him chasing me. It's engraved,
oh my
and then it opens
gosh.
up, and then on the other side it's
So
engraved with
just
him proposing.
Okay, you've done well
wow.
there.
I know
You've
you
done
did
well.
good, eh?
yes.
So this is a
Well
visual
done.
cue of a handmade ring box that is in the shape of mountains with the ring inside. So we'll have to somehow incorporate that for those. So what a incredible end to an incredible weekend. We definitely need to make a movie about that. And you definitely didn't need me commentating on your engagement at the finish line. So that was a wise choice to go up the top of Pigeon House Mountain there. But look, we could all talk about your experiences because individually you've you know run an incredible event, you've run incredible races, and so we couldn't be prouder of you. So well done, and thank you for being part of this tonight and sharing a little bit about your story.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Cool. Thanks very much.
Thank you for
very
having
much.
us.
Been
I'm
Awesome.
so excited to see what everyone else gets on to next. I can't wait to follow you all.
100%.
Yeah.
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 Lakes 100, everyone. Let's all go.
There you go. It has been postponed to October.
Yeah, I know. I'm there. I got my ticket.
There you go. There you go.
See you all there.
Awesome.
Now,
Thank
well
you.
done, Kelvin, and well done, everyone. And we must point out that you were all fueled by NG1. So there you go.
Always.
100%.
Yes, honey boost all the way.
Honey boost, only the best.
Yep.
All right.